What's up, guys? Blizzard Productions here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be predicting all the NFL games and what their outcome is going to be and why I think that is. I've been doing this for the past 4 weeks, and then last week I did not go ahead and do this, and the reasoning is because I just completely ran out of time. I kind of forgot until the night before, so then I put in all the pictures and who I thought was going to win and the picture of that team's logo and all that, but then I forgot to do the voiceover until the morning, and then that morning when I had woke up, it was already 9:45, and I just thought there was really no use in going ahead and predicting when most of the games have already started and all that. It just wouldn't look good, and I would I feel like, rig it and all that, and so I just ended up not coming out with it, so I'm sorry about that. But I think last week I did okay. I think I finished with probably winning half the games and losing half the games, so about the same record I have right now. But my record right now overall is just terrible because the first 2-3 weeks were just not what I would have expected at all for the outcomes and what the wins would be. So my record is kind of messed up right now, but I think after this video I'm going to start to make my record get better and better as the season progresses on, and I'm aiming to maybe win about 65-70% of the games. Probably about 70% of the games I want to go ahead and win as far as my predictions go. So, with that being said, I thank you guys for watching this video, and let's get into it. Starting off, we have the Buccaneers at the Steelers, and this one's going to be a pretty easy game for the Buccaneers to win. I would think the Buccaneers just are clearly the better team, and we saw the Steelers played last week. I mean, it was against the Bills, at the Bills, and it was Kenny Pickett's first game as a starter, but still, they just got blown out, and that was their defense too, and their defense hasn't changed. I think that it will be a better game. I think that Kenny Pickett will look a lot better in his second start, but I do still believe that the Steelers are going to get kind of blown out and that the Buccaneers are going to just walk away with a really big win. Moving on, we had the Bengals at the Saints, and this one I believe is going to be a very, very good game, but I think the Bengals are going to come away with the win in the end. I do know that the Saints have been a lot better than what people were expecting, or at least I was expecting, and the Bengals are not doing as good as what people are expecting, but they have been starting to get back to their winning ways and start to do better, and I think they are going to do a lot better. Joe Burrow is going to do a lot better in this game, and I think as a whole this team is going to, at the end, start to come together, and you'll see them start to make some really, really big plays on both defense and offense and come away with the win in the end. Moving on, we had the Patriots at the Browns, and the Patriots looked very good last week, and the Browns looked okay, but I think the Browns are going to come away with the win in this one. The Browns have been definitely really surprising me on offense, and their defense has looked pretty decent as well. But with that being said, I think that the Browns, if their defense is able to protect the run game a lot more, because I do believe that the run game will be a bigger part, meaning that Mac Jones is still not in for the Patriots. I do believe that if the Browns are able to protect the run game, their offense is going to do the rest and end up coming away with the win. Moving on, we had the Jaguars at the Colts, and the Jaguars just confuse me. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad, but I think the Colts are going to come away with the win in this one. I do think that the Jaguars are going to have a better game than they had last week. However, I do still think that the Jaguars are not going to be able to keep up with the Colts. The Colts have been starting to do a little bit better on offense and defense and have been on a 2-game winning streak, and I believe with them being at home, so they'll have the home field advantage, I think that the Colts will end up coming away with the win in the end. Moving on, we have the Ravens at the Giants, and believe it or not, the Giants are going to put up a really big fight, but the Ravens are going to win in the end. The Ravens just look like a very, very good team this year, and Lamar Jackson is finally being able to throw the ball pretty deep when he can, and also does, Lamar Jackson stuff, can run out of pocket, get out of pressure, all that. With that being said, the Giants have been pretty good this year. I gotta say that I was really wrong with how I thought that they were going to be. I thought that they were going to do terrible, especially with the new coach and all that, but they have been nothing but really good. They just beat the Packers, for crying out loud, last week. But like I said, I do think that the Ravens are going to come away with the win, but it's going to be by like a field goal or something. Moving on, we've got the 49ers at the Falcons, and I have this being a really good game, but the 49ers coming away with the win in this one. Hopefully, they come away with the win because I'm a Niners fan, but, I think, like I said, it's going to be a good game. The Falcons have been proving that they are a pretty good team this year, and their offense is really good. However, their defense is okay, and the Niners' defense is very good. So if the Niners' defense shows up and is able to stop the Falcons a lot, hopefully our offense can keep up with the defense and go ahead and be scoring points. Now, with that being said, if the defense does not want to show up for whatever reason, then we have seen that the Niners' offense is not that good this year. And so with that being said, if our defense does not do good and our offense does okay, then the Falcons could be looking at a win. With that being said, I had this being a good game, but in the end, the Niners winning. Moving on, we had the Packers at the Jets, and the Jets look like a playoff team right now, and the Packers look okay, but the Packers are going to come away with the win in this one. Like I just said, the Jets have looked very, very good this year on both the offense and defense, and, they just blew out the Dolphins in a way last week. But with that being said, I still see the Packers winning. The reason is because they are still a pretty decent team, and also it is at Lambeau Field where they play. So they will have a pretty big home field advantage because the Packers fans are very loud and can really disturb the offense for the other team. Now, with that being said, I think this will be a game that will come down to the very last minute, but I see the defense making a very big stop for the Packers and the offense, doing offense stuff. And the Jets, I see their offense doing very good, but in the end, just kind of starting to break down. With that being said, I still see the Packers winning in this game. Moving on, we've got the Vikings at the Dolphins, and I had this being a pretty good game, but the Vikings actually coming away with the win in this one in a upset win. The Vikings, first of all, are looking okay. It depends on if Kirk Cousins is going to show up or not. If he is the good Kirk Cousins, then I think that the Vikings will win. However, if he is not showing up and is the bad Kirk Cousins, then I see the Vikings not winning. But I do believe that he will be the good Kirk Cousins in this game. And as for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa and Teddy Bridgewater are both still in the concussion protocol, so they can't play. I believe both of them can play next week, so it'll probably be Tua Tagovailoa that we will see. But, it's not good, their third string. I don't even know his name. I don't think he is that good, and we saw what happened last week. They lost to the Jets, and it wasn't even that close of a game. So now, with that being said, I see the Vikings going ahead and riding this momentum and taking advantage of the situation that's happening in Miami right now and coming away with the win. Moving on, we have the Panthers at the Rams, and the Panthers just fired their head coach, Matt Rule, so they have a new one, but the Rams are going to win in this one. The Rams have looked not good at all this year so far, but I do believe this is their turning point of their season. They are below 500 right now. They are 2-3, but I believe that after this game, they will be 3-3 because they will get to Baker Mayfield, put pressure under him, and then Baker Mayfield is going to need to make some stupid throws to get out and not get sacked and then get intercepted and all that. And then as for the Rams offense, Matthew Stafford has not looked good at all. He has more interceptions than touchdowns is what I just heard, but I do believe that he will be looking better in this game because he has something to prove right now because he has not looked like what he looked like last year. He'll find Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp will not be able to be contained very well by the defense of the Panthers, and in the end, the Rams will come away with the win. Moving on, we had the Cardinals at the Seahawks, and I had the Seahawks doing pretty good, but the Cardinals winning in the end. The Cardinals have looked okay this season. Some days they can look really good on offense and defense, and then some days they can look really bad on offense and defense. However, I think that the Cardinals are going to win in this one because their opponent, the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, their quarterback, has looked very good this year. I think he has scored some of the most points in the NFL right now as a quarterback, if not the most. However, his defense has just been absolutely terrible. I think they are ranked last or like second or third to last in the league right now, have been giving up close to 40 points per game. I mean, it has not looked good at all for their defense. And if their defense was a little bit stronger, then I would say that the Cardinals would not be winning this game. But I think that the Cardinals will take advantage of hitting people on deep routes, burning the Seattle secondary and all that, and in the end, going ahead and winning in this game. Moving on, we have a rematch of last year's AFC divisional round. The Bills at the Chiefs, and I think the Bills are going to come away with the win in this one, but it's going to be a very, very close game. It's going to do with a lot of offense. I think even though that the Bills' defense is very, very strong, I think that they will show their weak parts and their weak spots right now against the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes will start to find some wide open receivers and all that. I do think, though, that the Bills are going to win, because, like I said, I think that the defense is going to do a little bit better than the Chiefs' defense will do against the Bills. And then their offense, Josh Allen, has been going off. And if he can find Gabe Davis and do the same thing they were doing last week against the Steelers, I see this being a very, very close game. But in the end, there will be like a field goal kicked and the Bills will go ahead and win. Moving on, we've got the Sunday night football game, the Cowboys at the undefeated Eagles, and I think that the undefeated streak will come to end. I think that the Cowboys will play the spoiler in this game. Cooper Rush has looked really, really good, and you know, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott is supposed to be coming back next week, I believe, or the following week. I don't really follow that, but I believe that he is supposed to be coming back in their next game. And so, with that being said, I think that Cooper Rush is trying to prove to himself that maybe he should be the starter and not Dak Prescott. So I think that he will have a really good game. The offense will have a good game, and their defense has been doing very good this year. And I think that their defense will continue doing good. And, you know, as for the Eagles, they look also pretty good. And, you know, obviously, I shouldn't say also pretty good. They look also really, really good. They are still the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. But like I said, I think this will come to end. They have played very, very well this year, but their offense is going to start to slip away a little bit, and I think this undefeated streak and all that is going to get stuck in their head, get put in their head, and it's going to start to get in their head. And in the end, I see the Eagles going ahead and losing their first game of the season. And last but not least, we had the Monday night football game, the Broncos taking on the Chargers at the Chargers, and I had the Chargers winning in this one. First of all, it's at their home field, and I do know that SoFi Stadium is known to be taken over by the opposing team's fans, but I do think that the Chargers are still going to win in this game. I think that they'll be able to just defeat the Broncos by quite a bit, because, you know, Russell Wilson has not been cooking at all, and the Broncos have just been doing absolutely terrible and not living up to expectations at all. And with that being said, I see the Chargers taking advantage of that and riding the momentum that they should have, and Justin Herbert throwing deep balls and finding wide open receivers, and in the end, the Chargers coming away with the win. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you guys watch this whole thing, and put in the comment section if you disagree with what I was saying or agree with what I was saying. I'm sure by the time you guys would even put a comment in, the games would have already finished, but tell me like what I did wrong and what I predicted wrong, and say what your thoughts are, and maybe if you disagree with what I'm saying about a certain team maybe doing bad or really good. So with that being said, I thank you guys once again so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next